Ooh, good morning.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
Martin.
Baltimore.
How are you doing?
I'm a lot better than I was our other morning show. I mean, at least I got 30 more minutes of rest. You know, 5 in the morning isn't easy sometimes. But this
I
is for
would
the East
imagine.
Coast. This is for Maryland.
Yeah.
So, I didn't even look at the numbers from what we did from the last one for the Buccaneers. I should
Yeah.
have. But it is what it is. At least this video will simmer, and maybe someone will catch a glimpse of it. For you out there in Maryland. So as we're going to talk about the Ravens there in Baltimore. I don't know. I do you want to talk about Stephon Diggs or kind of whatever? It's kind of like
Yeah. I don't
eh.
know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of like anime because I'm not shocked.
Right, because it's kind of like what he did in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
it's so yeah. I mean, I don't want to touch too much on it because just like it's Stephon Diggs. It is what it is. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe we don't see him in another team next year, but it is what it is. What Hey Anthony, what's up? Good morning. You're in Maryland. That is what's up. All right.
Nice.
This one's for you, my guy. Kind of, sort of, even though you're a Washington fan. So, but yeah, at least you're up. So, so Garling is up. Garling as soon as we created the room, kind of decided to put it up, staying up. I hope you didn't stay up all night. Unless you work graveyard shift, that would suck, and that's probably why. But Sala went to the same high school as me. Now we saw this comment. We're like, is this Robert?
Yeah, Jets head coach.
Like Robert Saleh? Like, do you say Saleh or Sala? I've heard both terms.
I've heard both, but I usually say solid.
Sala? All right. I don't know. It is what it is. As long as you throw Robert in front of it, I think everyone kind of knows what you're talking about. So, all right. So the Ravens. Overall, let's see. They signed Lamar all the way through 27. So that's at least another 4-year extension, as we mentioned. The former, 2019 MVP missed almost a lot of games in the past 2 seasons. So not too good, and has a 1-3 playoff record. So in the last season, he missed about the last 5 games. Apparently, he was good. Quote: He was good, but he was injured. But we all kind of know that he kind of held out. But
Well, I think he was hurt, but it was one of those situations where, like, because he wasn't paid, he didn't want to risk maybe getting more of an injury.
right, I guess no, I couldn't say it better myself. I guess, yeah, no, I guess.
Because
Um,
it was like it's similar to like RG3 when he first hurt his knee, but he
mhm,
kept playing and then completely blew it out in the playoff game.
right. So
Something like
I don't know. But in the playoffs, they lost Cincinnati. So with that knee injury, that was the original knee injury that's when it started. So yeah. Uh, the Ravens lost several other uh players like Calais Campbell. They traded Chuck Clark, basically just to free up cap space, essentially. So you know, and now we have Ben Powers there. So who played guard last season. Now he's moved around. So yeah, it's just crazy. Um, and now Odell Beckham is now in the picture. So that one was also kind of weird to me. I felt like maybe that was to help get the contract talks going. We were making fun
I
of him. We
believe
were
so.
saying like he was like being a child at the time. Let's get him some candy. Maybe this will leverage him to sign at the time. I remember we were joking about that. So yeah, um, he was good. Just didn't want to play. Like that's how he kind of like that was the vibe. Like that was the vibe. He was still injured. But when Lamar gets injured, it's the same. Like Is it really? I never really thought about that. Is it really?
Could be. I never thought that about that either. But then when he brought it up, I'm like, I don't think you're necessarily wrong.
Is he falling in or leading with the same direction? So yeah, no, it's basically sitting all of last year. Odell was go back to the Odell. He was basically sitting all last year, recovering from the injury that he sustained in the Super Bowl with the tearing his ACL. So yeah, now the Baltimore Ravens came into the draft with essentially 5 picks this off season. So um, I think they started at the 22nd overall, coming in at their first rounds that they got from the Bears, I
Yep,
think. So with the Roquan thing, that's how they ended up there. So here we are. But yeah, if you want, go ahead, Mark. If you have the rookies ready, we can
sure
talk about.
do.
Um, yeah, let me disclaim while we do this.
All right, so they number 22 pick overall. They took a receiver, Zay Flowers, out of Boston College. And then number 86, they took Trenton Simpson, linebacker out of Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
Number 124, they took Travis Robinson, defensive line out of Mississippi. 157, they took Caillou Blue Kelly, cornerback out of Stanford. Number 199, we got Malasala Amuve Lalulu,
Oh, dude, you nailed that, bro.
offensive lineman out of Oregon. Oh, maybe that's who he's talking about, Sala.
This guy?
Maybe.
Is that who you're talking about?
Could be.
Maybe.
And then their last pick via Cleveland, 229. They got uh, Jason's brother, Andrew Voorhees, guard out of
Yeah.
USC.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is this guy was, I don't know, if you ask me, I think that's a steal of the draft right there. This guy was supposed to be one of the top 10 picks. And the Ravens have been doing this. They for the last 2 years, they got David Njoku, who also hurt himself during what was it? Not it wasn't at the combine, but it was the help me out here. It's when they do the workouts at their school.
Pro day.
Thank you. Yeah. That was the day. Um David Njoku got hurt there that day. And he was supposed to be a top 10 pick. But the Ravens still
Uh,
drafted him, I think, in the 4th.
out of
So
Michigan.
yeah, the pro day. So um thanks, Braden. Always there. Always watching, man. So yeah, no, it was I think David Njoku was going to elevate this defense. We're going to talk about it here, and then Andrew Voorhees went down in the combine, which it sucks.
Oh yeah, he was the guard that got hurt.
Hmm. So he was in the middle of the combine. So when that happened, so they took him in the 7th. So give him the rest of the
Dang.
year to kind of recover, and I think they have themselves a top 10 pick.
I was gonna say
Just
he was like a first round
oh yeah,
like
no, he
talent,
was
wasn't he?
going up like at least top 10, top 20,
Man,
no lower than
if you
that.
get hurt at the combine or your pro day, just know the Ravens will get you.
Yeah,
That's our PSA for the day.
that's what it looks like.
There.
So yeah,
Hey, get a first round talent in the 7th. That's could be a win.
hey, that's what I'm saying. Let him heal. Next year, plug him in.
Right.
Um, I think he's gonna be a valuable guard eventually. You put him on the left side or the right side. I think he's that good. So yeah, no, I like what they did, and especially like you said, in the 7th. Why the hell not? So
Right.
100% everybody knows Zay Flowers was going to be going to the it was looking that way.
Yeah, it
It
was.
was it was looking that way the entire time. I think we even mentioned that like even before going in. So
Mhm.
yeah. All right, so let's talk about this offense, or do you want to do defense? What you want to do?
I
Because
could
you have
do.
yours, right?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay. All right. Let me blow this up.
Well, I just did the draft, so if you want to do
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
offense, and then I'll
Sure.
do defense, and then I'll go first for the taking gambling, not taking.
On the offensive side, after I name this out, or I see what you mean. I see what you mean. All right. So obviously, with Lamar Jackson coming in, he's going to be there for 4 years. I didn't look at the actual extent of that contract, so let me look at it real quick. So the contract, I want to know if there's like any dead money here, like later. Let's see, Lamar Jackson. So essentially, he's good until 24. After that, there's no guaranteed money the 25, 26, and 27 year. However, the cap number that he's going to elevate it still. The prorated bonus at 22,000 or 22 million every year. So he's still getting paid at a base salary of 51 those last final years, but there's no guaranteed money. So yeah, I don't think they can afford to get rid of him either way. So
No,
yeah, I mean, good for him. All right, so
got his money.
yeah, no, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. So Lamar Jackson there. Tyler Huntley as his backup. We all know how good he is. He's probably one of the best backups to have. Good for them. So I expect them to possibly throw more. That's what it seems like they're trying to do. But let's just be honest. These players do like to tend to run. I mean, with J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and Justice Hill all being healthy, it seems like a rotational back between the main two until one of them gets. It's usually either Gus Edwards or J.K. Dobbins.
I agree.
So, and I expect J.K. Dobbins to have a better year this year. Um, there seems to be a trend in running backs when they have a major injury. They're down for the next year. The following year, they're like whatever, and then it seems like that third year they're back, they just explode. So I'm assuming this would be the year. Let's see, let's pray, let's hope. He doesn't get hurt.
I definitely think this could be his bounce back here too.
I think so too. He had a pretty good, decent rookie year. Who was he with during that time? Who went to New Orleans? Ingram, right? So yeah, Mark Ingram was a starter when
Oh
on his
yeah,
rookie.
yeah, yeah.
So he did pretty good there. So his pass. So let's talk about the pass catching real quick. We have Odell Beckham Jr., Rashad Bateman, and Zay Flowers with Devin Duvernay, Nelson Aguilar as basically the top 5 receivers, with the addition of Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. And is Charlie Kolar even a guy to you? Like, do you even take a gamble on him in Dynasty? Like, do you just, or he's just like,
Probably not at this point. Like I think earlier, maybe just because he was behind Andrews, but he was kind of a presence. But then they brought in Likely, and then I think that kind of. I mean, the only time he's really going to get on the field is what 3 tight end sets at the goal line, maybe.
if they do that, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know.
I mean, to me,
Or if
Likely,
there's injuries, but
yeah. To me, Likely is just another receiver, to be honest.
I agree.
So, yeah, I mean,
I just think if Charlie Kolar is out there, he's out there to block.
yeah, it seems that way. So, I'm looking at the offense and I'm like, okay, they have something here. Let's hopefully it turns into something. Because if you look at it on paper, this could be a high-powered offense.
It could.
So, yeah.
I mean, their receiving room went from a dud to what looks like it could be pretty good in one off season. So
Exactly. So yeah, go ahead. Do you have your defense there ready? Because I have a 3-4-4-3 type.
I got a 3-4.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. So yes, I got a 3-4 with the defense left end being Justin. Is that Matabuki?
Mabuki?
And then I got the nickel tackle.
Good morning, Roman.
Michael Pierce. Good morning, Roman. Hope your phone got charged. Power's back on. They got the nickel tackle with Michael Pierce. We got the right defensive end with Broderick Washington. And now we're going to get to the rushers because they have, like we said, they're 3-4. So you got the weak side linebacker with Odafe Owe.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's that? And then obviously you got your stud middle linebackers with Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen, and Trenton Simpson sitting in the wings. There's strong side linebacker with Tyrus Bowser, and then like we said, David Ojobo behind him. We think he'll probably be the starter before the season's over. And then you got their overhauled secondary, which kind of threw me for a loop when I was looking at it last night. They brought in Rocky Sin to be their main corner. You got
Mm-hmm.
Marlon Humphreys on the other side. And then do you have Brandon Stevenson as your nickelback?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the safeties, which really threw me for a loop. Free safety, they moved Marcus Williams from corner to free safety, which I feel like that is a total like Patriots move right there.
A little
And,
bit, but I think maybe they feel more comfortable with Kyle Hamilton there
and
than
then
it's.
and then Kyle Hamilton has been elevated to starting strong safety, which thank God. Let's go.
Yeah. So
Highest rated safety or secondary person in the NFL last year, and I was like, he's barely on the field.
it takes some time for these
So
guys
I'm
sometimes.
excited. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah. Power's still out, but I'm at work, so okay, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Dude, that
That's fine.
sucks. Any word on when it's probably gonna go back? Like, I'm assuming it's like what? A neighborhood outage, maybe? I don't know.
Right.
Unless it's
And
just your
then
home, and then that really sucks. So no, I'm looking at this defense. Overall, what do you think?
I
Because
think it should be pretty solid. I mean, they got depth at least in the middle, like the linebacker core. There's depth. I don't kind of worry about the linemen a little bit, but I mean, as long as they just have enough space for Odafe and Bowser slash Ajobo, I mean, they should be fine. I
yeah,
mean, we'll see the secondary. Like I said, they have some turnover in the secondary, but I mean, they got solid pieces. Like Rocky Sin's pretty good.
hmm
Kyle Hamilton we like a lot. I think Marcus Williams could excel in the safety spot, and then obviously I do like Marlon Humphrey.
don't you have both these safeties on your on your dynasty league?
No, I actually dropped Marlon. I had Kyle Hamilton and Marlon Humphrey, but I dropped Marlon.
Okay, all right. I couldn't remember. I'm like, I swear you had them both.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like you kept the best one.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like,
I
even
do.
though Marlon Humphrey is still good, I feel like
His
Kyle
issue has
Hamilton.
been injuries, though. I feel like he can't ever stay on the field these days.
Yeah,
That was my biggest issue with him.
yeah, I agree there. Kyle Hamilton should be like one of the best ones here. And then, like you said, it was kind of surprising that he didn't really step up last year. So it was like maybe they're like, all right, sit this one out, learn under these guys because we have Humphrey and Williams, and just kind of like learn a bit. I don't know.
I'm
I
guessing
thought he
that was
would be on
probably
the
it.
field. Yeah, I feel like he would have been a little bit more utilized, but it wasn't the case here. So yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know. Um, I have a Jabo behind Adafe Owe here.
I have a Javo behind Tyrus Bowser, so that's interesting.
That is interesting. I would expect him to be on the left side or Will's side behind one of these guys, but I guess because the Jabo is probably going to be more like that rush guy. So
Hmm.
that is interesting though that you say that. So go ahead. I mean, I don't know unless you want to talk more about the defense, so we could just jump into our next segment.
Well, how do you feel about the defense?
I think it's decent enough to keep up with what like overall. I feel like these teams in the AFC like they fight for their division
Hmm.
first, and I feel like they add pieces to what they are going to play against. Like I think Trenton Simpson was a reason they picked up because of Joe Burrow.
Well, I agree.
He's a fast, he's a pretty fast linebacker,
Yeah,
and
let's just
he's not like the biggest, but he's a very good coverage linebacker.
Oh, I
And if
agree.
you think about it, behind Roquan or even alongside him, I think the coverage room is going to be spread out a little bit more, make it more difficult for Joe Burrow.
Oh yeah,
So
you just plug them in with like the nickel set.
yeah, exactly.
Like you
So
got Kyle Hamilton and Rock Sin guarding the receivers and stuff, and then you got the other level with Simpson and Roquan. You know, oh, there we go.
right, I think this is why Trenton Simpson fits so well here. Um, Patrick Queen will probably. It wouldn't surprise me Patrick Queen gets sent to the middle and Roquan to the outside just because
Yeah,
he's faster. But then at the same time, I also see why he's labeled as middle for Roquan. So I don't know. I kind of was hoping to have Brian's intake on these because
right.
he kind of knows his defense as well. So especially on when it comes to the front seven. So I wanted his opinion on it. Um, but he's at the gym right now, so
Yeah, on the treadmill.
probably probably. So overall, dude, I think this is a good defense.
I
Uh,
agree.
it's the second. It's not the secondary, but the depth of it is what worries me a little bit. Like
Yeah, I can see
after the
that.
main starters, I'm like, okay, I don't know how I feel about you. So, but
Count your
yeah,
days, Patrick Queen. Trent Simpson's coming for your position.
yeah, I think so. Possibility. So, anyways,
I think so too.
yeah, that's how I feel about it. So,
Yeah.
let's go ahead. Let's start with the who you taking, who you gambling, and who you just not going to take at all. Out of both offense and defense from a dynasty perspective. Let me narrow this down so you see everybody.
So, am I going first? Or you going first?
Yeah, I thought you wanted to go first.
Okay, that worked. Who am I taking? I am going to be taking. I'm going to stay with the defensive side. I'm going to go Kyle Hamilton. It's a pretty easy take for me since I have him.
Okay.
But this is a safety who is 6'4", 220. It's still fast. And I don't know. He should have been a top 5 pick, maybe even a top 3 pick.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow fell to the Ravens at 14 in last year's draft. It's still hard for me to fathom how that happened, but he did. And I don't know. I just think he's a crazy good athlete. I think the sky is the limit for him. Like we said, even though he was only on the field a limited time because he was actually a backup last year, he was still the highest rated safety in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now that he's the starter, he's going to grab the reins and he's just not going to look back. And I'm expecting some good things from him this year.
Okay. Okay. Here's
And
Anthony's
then
take.
taking Zay Flowers. Yeah, Zay Flowers is another one I was looking at.
Yeah.
I do like Zay Flowers. OBJ is definitely a gamble. And then not taking Ravens running backs. They always injured.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean, I see where you're
I
coming
can
from,
see
but
your
I
point there.
think JK
I didn't mean to distract you, but yeah, go ahead, finish yours, and then we'll talk about
Dobbins
Anthony's
will.
take here. So
And that
yeah,
I
my bad.
gamble. I'm gonna say J.K. Dobbins is my gamble, just because I know he has that stigma of always being hurt.
Okay.
We're still here. I
Yeah, I'm
freeze.
here.
My
Oh, did I
everything
freeze? Did
just
you
like
freeze? Someone
my
froze. I don't know.
no, my computer I think froze
Oh,
for like a
okay.
second. I was like, oh no. Anyway, so my gamble is gonna be J.K. because he does have that stigma of being injured, but I feel like this is the best year to have him because I think he kind of sheds it this year, and I think he goes off for a big year this year. I really do.
Okay.
And then not taking, um, you know, Probably anybody on this defensive line, just because I feel like this defense is set up more
Really?
for the defensive line, like Justin Matabuki or Pierce or Broderick Washington, just because I feel like this defense is set up for, the Ojabos or the Adafes or the Bowsers to get their stuff on the edges.
Okay.
I think the defensive line is just set up. Maybe they'll get their points from getting tackles on the running backs and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I just don't see them getting to the quarterback very often.
Okay. I mean, that's a fair point. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but no, yeah. Anthony says I think Patrick Queen might get you. Yeah, that's it's he's not.
I mean, that wouldn't shock me.
It wouldn't. It really wouldn't. Patrick Queen is like to me in my eyes is such a disappointment. Like, even though I know he's good and he does great, but I felt like I expected a higher level. I expected an elite level from this guy, but instead he's just above average, and that's not bad. But I just had high expectations from this guy. I really did, and it's because of those expectations. I don't like him. I think maybe he does better when there's a true LB1 there. With Roquan being there as the LB1, putting him in a true LB2 spot, and he's a very good LB2. Like, he could be an LB1 on some people's rosters, but it's nothing like you're excited for. Like, yeah, he produces, but it's like I know he could do better. So it wouldn't shock me exactly
Is
how
he someone who maybe needs to change his scenery? Maybe
yeah,
get a fresh
maybe.
start somewhere else?
I think so. I really think so. Stick
Because
him in
I mean,
freaking.
I'm not gonna lie. If he was cheap, I would take him on Commanders.
Well, yeah. Stick him somewhere else. I don't
Like it.
know. Put him where the Cardinals are at. The Cardinals probably could utilize him. At
Maybe he
least he's
goes to
a
Giants. His old defense
Giants.
coordinators there.
Giants too. Yeah. Roman says taking Andrew easy out. I know. Gamble on Flowers and avoiding OBJ.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good too.
That's not bad.
I can see.
Actually, I was gonna lean on Andrews as my take too, but
Oh, I didn't want my take to be like too
no,
easy.
I
Oh,
know.
Lamar Jackson.
No, yeah, no, we kind of like go differently. Just I understand why. Um, I know that's kind of like the one I was kind of
Because I like to
leaning
throw
towards, but
defense
at
in
the
there.
same time, um, the one I guess I'll go with mine. The one I'm really taking here, and this might come as a shock completely towards what Anthony's saying here. Like, well, it's more of a gamble because I want to take JK, but then I kind of have to slot him into the gamble because of the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
But I really do want to take him. However, because he produces when he's there. Like, and I've said this before. If this guy's healthy, you throw him in. Like, and I've said this multiple times. They're like, oh, but he's his first game back off of injury. I'm like, dude, I don't care. You throw him in because he's going to put you 18 points at minimum or something like that. It's he's that good. But the problem is, yes, why? So I'm gonna just put him at my gambling and skip my taking because uh I'm gonna put JK there at my gambling. He was your gamble too, right?
Yeah, he was my gamble too.
Yeah. So
That's what I said. I was like, I know he has that stigma of being injured, but his upside is just too high to not even to take that chance.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm not going to draft him as my first quarter running back. But
yeah. No, so for Dynasty, I think who I'm really gonna take here, uh, I'm gonna take Trenton Simpson here.
that's a good one.
I think yes, he's a backup, but you can always like take him now, either taxi him or it would not surprise me by the end of this year he starts getting majority of the snaps. I think he's going to learn a lot from Roquan. Patrick Queen is like as we mentioned before. Anthony said he might get traded.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't surprise me if Trenton takes over Bowser or Queen. I mean, maybe not Bowser, but I think Queen's a likelihood. I think Trenton Simpson's that quick. He's that fast. He's like we have a showcase on him, and he plays. I'm not saying dirty, but he's always in your face. That's what I liked about him. He's one of my favorites coming in, even though he wasn't the best, but he was one of my favorite linebackers coming in. So, I'll definitely take him as taking as my for sure go. Gamble on J.K. Dobbins, and I'm not gonna take uh Rashad Bateman. Um, despite how young he is, and despite maybe, and this might upset a few people, but I think that if he was already this good, I think they wouldn't bring in these other pieces like Nelson Aguilar and Devin Duvernay. Like they drafted Devin Duvernay, Zay Flowers. I think like he's not a number one. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. He's
And
the
I think
slot
that's what
guy.
they drafted him for. But I don't think he's ever going to be that number one. So I just don't like what the production is. This year could prove me wrong, but we've seen him already for what 2 seasons already, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
nothing.
It's
I
weird
don't know.
on my depth chart. He's slotted as the number one receiver,
Oh really?
Rashad Bateman.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't
he's
think
kind
it's
of
gonna
been the
stay
number
that
one.
way. I don't think it's gonna be that way.
He's kind of been the number one though, hasn't he? Just hasn't really
Well,
done
yeah,
anything with
out
it.
of default because they had nobody else.
So, like I said, I don't know. I like him, but I just don't feel like.
Plus he's still coming off an injury, isn't he?
I believe so. Yes.
Because I have a questionable
So, I mean,
next to him.
Dobbins coming off his running back 20 ADP right now. I would take him in a zero RB build because of the upside, and that's okay. I mean, right
Yeah.
now, but it's ADP. Like depending on what you're doing, though, I've seen him go in like the first or second. So coming off running back 20 from last season is interesting as a zero build too. So
Yeah.
I do like that though. Like coming from that perspective, though, I don't know. Do you think the new offense current will change the offense to pass? And that's the thing, Anthony. I'm hoping that that's the case because otherwise you're gonna run Lamar down to the dirt. Like a lot of these running quarterbacks, like not everyone's Michael Vick and just can continue to go all the way through his 30s. Like it's not like that. You know, the game's changed. So I'm
I mean,
hoping they
I
pass
don't think
more.
it'll be mostly passing, but I think it'll be a lot more passing than we're used to from this
That's what I'm
offense.
hoping. They brought in all these pieces. So I expect a lot more Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins like getting the dump off passes more,
Mm-hmm.
which would be great for PPRs. So I don't know.
Right.
Bateman underwent surgery on his foot last season after Liz
But
Frank injury ended his yeah.
and that could be
So
a lingering injury too.
I just that's why he's one of those guys I'm just not taking. And it's crazy because how young he is, he could still like elevate his career, but I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it, and I'm sorry, but I just it is what it is. That's my take, and I don't care. But all right, let's go to the schedule, and let's see what we have determined for this team. So, um,
A lot of primetime games at the end of the season. One,
yeah, go
two,
ahead, name them
three,
off, man.
4 primetime games from week 11 to week 16. That's like almost every week.
Yeah,
Um, so they open their season at home against the Houston Texans. Then they travel to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. Then they're home for the Indianapolis Colts in week 3. Then week 4, they go back to Ohio to play the Cleveland Browns. Then they go to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. Then they have a London game against the Tennessee Titans on week 6. Week 7, they got the Detroit Lions at home. That should be a really good game.
Yeah, take a pause at the break at the bye week.
Okay. And then after that, they'll travel to the desert to play the Arizona Cardinals. You going to go to that game?
Um, I could.
Yeah. And then they come back home to play the Seahawks. Then they host the Browns and the Bengals. Man, they got to play within 3 weeks the Bengals and the Browns. And then they play the Bengals and the Browns back to back. That's
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah.
And at least they're home games. And then you got the Los Angeles Chargers in LA, which is a Sunday night game, which then leads us to the bye week.
Yes.
What a late bye week.
And then Anthony says, sounds like the whole entire wide receiver core is one cut away from being out. No, yeah.
Yeah.
That's they
you're not
don't have
lying.
depth on it. Like Devin Duvernay and Nelson Aguilar are going to be the replacements here. And James Prosh is probably going to be one of those guys too. But did you realize Laquan Treadwell is here? Forgot to mention him.
Oh Lord, you're still
Look,
playing?
here's the first rounders back there: Laquan Treadwell and Andy Isabella.
Andy Isabella.
Dude, those guys tanked their careers, man. Same.
Good Lord, they got some.
Tylan Wallace is back there. I mean, guys just kind of like, I don't know, overrated. I don't know.
They're like, we keep getting burned at receivers because they get hurt. We're gonna just stack as many good receivers, as highly drafted receivers as we can get.
Yeah, but they're not. They're not that good.
That's funny.
All right,
go ahead. I realize half the people they had on their roster. Then after the bye week, week 14, they're gonna host the Los Angeles Rams. Then they're gonna head to Jacksonville for Sunday night football. Play the Jaguars. Dude, that should be a good game. Baltimore at Jacksonville. I'm looking forward to that one. Then they head to San Francisco after that to play 49ers on Monday Night Football. Then they have the Miami Dolphins at home on week 6-17. And then the very last game, they got the Pittsburgh Steelers to end the season.
Right.
That should be a good game as well.
Right.
At home.
So, overall, man, I see 1, 2, 3, 4. I think they open up the season at a good undefeated start to week 4.
No, I think because it's in Cincinnati, they could lose the thing.
So you're saying they win in week 11? I think they split with Cincinnati.
I do too. I think they win the week 11 one.
Okay. No, yeah. No, I could see that then. That makes more sense. I think I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I think there's 7-5 going into the bye week.
8. Yeah, no, I have the same. I have 7 before the bye week as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have 8 with LA. Oh, that Jacksonville one is going to be weird.
No, I'm at about 10 wins. Could be 11. I wouldn't be shocked if they get 11, but I'm at about 10 wins right now.
I have 8, 9.
Dang, Anthony swooping in and taking the man in the chair's job.
Well, also Anthony doesn't know that we usually wait till Braden does it after we give our guesses.
But so. Anthony has 11, and he says FanDuel's at 10.5. So he might take the under at 10 and hope that 0.5 don't kill me. I mean, I'm at about 10.
You're not wrong, because I have between 9 and 10. I'm still debating on this Jacksonville one.
Yeah, I'm at 10, but I could see an easy swing either way to like 12 or 7, just depending on how they play in the division.
I'm gonna look at Jacksonville Jaguars schedule real quick. That's gonna be my determination on where they're at, because if I see where they're at on their bye week, oh yeah, week 15.
Weird to not have done Jacksonville yet, isn't it?
We have not done Jacksonville yet. That's why it's hard for me to look or kind of determine. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm sitting.
I'm gonna give it to Baltimore. I'm gonna give them 10. It's in December.
I actually gave it to Jacksonville and I got 10. So
you gave it to Jackson? Really? Interesting.
I have them beating the Dolphins though. Maybe that's our difference.
I don't have that. Yeah, I have them losing to the Dolphins.
No, see, I have them beating the Dolphins.
Okay. All right.
So over under is 10.5.
Here it is. So
they're favored against the Texans, Colts, Steelers, Titans, Lions. Man, they're favored against the Steelers.
I have them in Pittsburgh.
Interesting. Titans, Lions. Oh, they are favored against the Lions?
6.5 to the Rams.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, you're right. Seattle, which I do have them beating Seattle, and then Cleveland.
Yeah.
Rams, Pittsburgh again.
I don't think I have them Seattle. I have Houston, Indianapolis, Tennessee, Arizona, Cleveland, Cincinnati. Well, maybe I did have them there.
Yeah, where were your other
Rams? Rams. Oh, maybe I do. Maybe I do. Now I'm looking at it. Maybe I do.
Yeah, because I had Houston, Indianapolis, Tennessee,
yes,
Arizona, yes, Seattle, and then Cleveland and Cincinnati at home, and then the Rams, Dolphins, and Pittsburgh. Those are the ones I had.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, hey, 10 wins is still solid enough to probably get you in the.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen teams go in with 7. All right,
might even be enough to win this division. You know.
Yeah.
So if they beat up on each other.
One thing, Anthony, is Braden usually gives it to us once we give our numbers, because we don't look at it. We don't look at the over unders.
Yeah, we try to stay away from them actually because we like to do our guesses and then see how.
Yeah. Close so Braden will do it right as we give our numbers, and then he sends it. So you didn't know that. It's fine.
No, it's all good. I just thought it was funny that he came in with
it. Yeah. That's fine. Thanks, Anthony. Braden, as always, coming in. Yeah,
see how they look against everybody else in our league over.
Yeah, let's put that up.
I mean, 10 we're
going with 10?
Especially in the AFC. I think 10, yeah, because we both have 10.
I'm almost leaning 9, man.
So go 9, and then we'll be at 9.5.
At the same time, it's like, where you at? There you are.
I was okay with 10 because I'm pretty sure they might lose some of the games I said they'll win. But I'm also confident they'll make up for that by beating someone I said they'd lose to. Like, they could beat the Chargers. I wouldn't be shocked. And I have them losing that game, but I wouldn't be shocked if they beat the Chargers. Only because the Chargers like to Charger, you know? Probably go for it on 4th down when they shouldn't.
Are we just saying that because Brian says it all the time now?
That's my new favorite. I like saying it because there are teams that do that. They're Cowboys, the Lions, the Chargers. There's just like I feel like there's one team in every division where you're just like the Browns, like, you know. There's one team in every division where you're like they can beat themselves before their opponent. Like they like to snap the defeat out of the jaws of victory, you know.
Yeah. 10, bro.
Unless you want to go 9.
No, we'll go with 10. We'll stick with 10 because we're not at 10.
I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh if all of the teams in the AFC North are at 10 because we're already 2 for 2.
That's the thing. I don't know because I think he was coming in more with the gambling aspects, though. What he was thinking. Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, yeah. That's what kind of sounds like.
No, I
You're right.
agree. I
No,
agree.
yeah.
And
Staley and
he's a Staley and
Stefanski.
Stefanski.
Yeah.
The same coach making the same mistakes,
I
pretty
don't
much.
know. Because looking at this, man, I'm like, the Jags and Dolphins to me are the weird ones for me.
Oh, I agree.
I think the Jags don't win that one because it's in December. And
Want to know what my basing is? It's the same basing I do with all the other teams. They're in Jacksonville, so I was like, I'll just give it to Jacksonville. They're hosting the Dolphins. I'll give it to them.
yeah, but see, here's
Comes
the
down to
thing. I
home
look
field,
at
man. It
what,
does play.
like, huh?
It's at home field. It does play a bit of a
It
base.
does, but here's the thing. Once December rolls around, the running backs are like the most important because then you start seeing certain, like, Jacksonville's favorite one.
Jacksonville's favored, so that actually means
So
Baltimore.
yeah, that is the weird one. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's.
I don't know. I'm high on Jacksonville this year. I feel like they might turn things around.
They're gonna be good. Don't get me wrong. But like when it comes,
I think their defense is good enough to contain Lamar. You look at all the pieces they have on that defense, especially the defensive line / the linebackers. They got speed. They got, I think they could do it.
you're shoving me to 9 here, dude. You're shoving me to 9. God, see, all right.
So they're at 9.5. Then can I get you back to 10 by saying they can beat the Dolphins? Because what if Tua's not there?
No, I think they could beat the Dolphins.
Well, then you're back at 10 then.
No. Here's who I had. Let me look at the actual schedule. That's the wrong team. I looked up the Jags. So, all right. So I have Houston, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have the Colts. I have Tennessee. I have Arizona. Surprisingly, I have Seattle here. And then I have Cleveland and Cincinnati. Okay, that's the 7 that we kind of agreed on, right? Before the bye week.
Yeah, we agreed on the same 7 for
right.
the bye week.
Bengals games are 3.5 and 1. Chargers is +2. Dolphins is what? The Chargers, there's no doubt in my mind. I think they're going to lose to them. Both of us kind of see there.
Yeah, I said the Chargers.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going in 7. The other 3 wins that I see here now are the Rams, Jacksonville, and I think, and I'm looking at Niners as well. I don't know. But the
So now you have them beating Jacksonville? Because I had Jacksonville winning. I'm confused.
Well, that was my original. That's why I thought they would. But then now, because I have San Fran as well, it's these last final 4 games, man, for me. But San Fran,
so the Rams is 8, Jacksonville is 9.
I see this, but I don't know what their quarterbacks like. The Niners are so. I'm so used to them getting injured towards the end. Like, are they even going to have enough QBs by then? Are they going to have enough receivers by then? Are they have enough running backs by then? Like, I don't know.
Are you going to 11 wins now? I'm confused.
What?
We have them beating the Rams, Jacksonville. Now you have them possibly.
No, I said Rams and Niners.
Oh, Rams and Niners.
Yeah.
And then not Dolphins and then Steelers.
I don't think they'll be the Dolphins.
10. So you're back to 10.
9.
You just gave them the 49ers. So they're getting swept by the Steelers?
I have 7 going before the bye week, and I gave them Rams and Niners.
Rams. So you're having them getting swept by the Steelers?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's all I was asking. So nine. I thought you had them beating the Steelers. So that's why I was
No, I don't.
confused.
I don't think the Steelers are gonna
They're getting
let up
swept
this
by the
year.
Steelers.
I probably
Man,
said
how much
differently
did
on
Andrew
the
pay you
Steelers
to say
episode too.
that?
I probably said
Come on,
differently on, like, I don't know.
I just want to be like, how much did Andrew pay you to say that? I'm just kidding.
No, I think that defense is
I'm
just too
just
good,
kidding.
man. The defense is just too good. I think they'll be able to contain Lamar.
I don't know. I said the safe thing, and I had them sweeping or splitting the whole division. Just because that whole division's up in the air, we'll have a better grasp, I think, a couple weeks in, see who's good and who's not. But as of right now, I just think the whole AFC North is just really even roster wise across the board.
Yeah,
So I'll
and for
just
all I
say
know, they could beat
split
Jacksonville. They could
3-3.
they could beat Miami. Don't like I they. It's just I'm so like. Here's the
Oh, they
thing:
could.
the Niners get injured so much that I think by week 16, especially that at that point, it's like, okay,
But Madden has them going 16-1.
I don't care.
It's just no way. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I do agree. The 49ers could have injury. That's what I said. It's hard to predict, especially towards the end of the year, just because there's so many variables that go into it.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to be on the field? You know, are the Ravens clicking? Because if they click, they could be a very dangerous team. You know, if Lamar gets on the same page with all his receivers and his tight ends, and all of a sudden this is a top 3 offense, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they sweep their whole division. They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. They beat the Chargers. Is that the way to see?
Yeah, I'm bouncing between 9 and 10 right now.
See this. We're going to need
Hard.
you to
Like
make
I
a
don't think
final decision.
this is a tough. This is a tough decision.
Is that your final answer?
I I think it is. I
So
don't feel comfortable
9.5.
about it because I want to give
Well,
them 10.
I feel like if you're going to have the Steelers sweep them, it makes sense to have them at 9.5 and have the Steelers a half a game ahead of them, honestly.
Because if I give them this, because if they split with the Steelers, then I have to put them at 10, right?
Exactly. Because then you're like, okay, they're even. They're both 10. So I think it's fine.
Okay. In the realm, there's a possibility they do split with the Steelers. So and
There
that's
is,
why I'm
but
leaving
I
them at
also don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they get swept by the Steelers.
yeah.
Because the
All right.
Steelers have always been one of those teams that I think they swept them last year, didn't they?
I
Pretty
think
sure they
so.
swept them
I think so. Look, guys, I
last
don't
year.
feel comfortable about this, but I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it. 9.5.
I
I
think
don't
it's
feel
fine.
comfortable about that. I want to put them at 10, but at the same time,
So that puts them second in the AFC or third. Chargers are
third.
at 10. Chargers are at.
Yeah, dude. Third.
That's right. I wasn't here for the Chargers. So that's why I didn't realize they were on there.
Yeah, me and Brian did
10's a good number for the Chargers, though. I'd probably land around the same thing.
yeah. All right. Well, that's it for the freaking Baltimore Ravens. So not bad, not bad. We're almost done with this chart, man. How many more
I
teams we
know.
got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
One in the North,
6,
2, 3,
10 more
4,
teams, 11 more
5,
teams, 12 more teams.
6,
Almost
7,
done,
8,
man.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
You see 13 yet? Oh wait, yeah, my bad.
There's 2 in the West,
Yeah.
2 in the East on the NFC.
Yeah.
But still, that's over halfway. Not
You
bad.
said one
Not
in the
bad.
north. I don't know, man. I just
One in
King
the
of
North.
yeah, one in the north.
One
King
in
of
the
the
North.
All right, guys. Tomorrow. We got the Vikings. We can finish that little division off right in the middle that we have. We have the Vikings.
The Niners are at +3.
Yeah, no, I saw. That I shared that earlier, and that was the whole.
So that means it's just a true home game push because isn't it in San Francisco?
Yeah, but I don't think they'll be healthy. And
yeah, we'll finish the one division that doesn't have pictures.
Finally, because of the Vikings, I'll probably get the pictures in today.
I just think it's funny that the one division that'll be complete is the one that doesn't have pictures.
Yeah, well, we'll figure it out. We'll have it done by tomorrow. So,
all right,
tomorrow, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. your time, 8 a.m. Central. Right?
Yep.
So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. The Vikings.
Well, that'll work because they'll have an 8 a.m. show for where the Vikings are. So nice, worked out perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be good. We'll be good on there. So, yeah. Other than that, anybody else say anything about these Ravens? Because it's looking okay. 9.5 can get them in the playoffs, especially in the AFC. Like, it's as tough as it is, but I think they'll be fine. I think they brought in the right pieces overall to basically cover for what the mistakes they've had in the last years on the offense, and I think this defense will be good enough to carry that team. But we'll see. So, thanks for watching, guys. Anthony, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of all of you. Enjoy it. Roman, hopefully you get your power back up. And, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow when we talk about the Vikings. So, if you're seeing this wherever that you're in the world, see you then. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.
Yep. Later.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate.